Hi, Peter.
Hello, how
Good
are we?
morning. We're good. Just waiting for Iya to join.
He
I'm
is in.
here.
Oh, he's just here.
Hi, hi, how are you?
Hello. How are you doing?
Good, thank you. Good.
Sorry, hold on. Let me just adjust my fan because it's like drowning the sound. It's so hot today.
How hot is it?
It's 32 even now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. All right. Um, hold on. Okay. I think that should be good. All right. So, hello, Peter. I'm not sure if we've met before. I'm Ia, and this is Enzo. So we work with the
Thank you.
PH team, right? So I asked you and Enzo for this meeting because yesterday we had a chat with um the lead generation team,
hmm
and um it was brought to our attention that they've like the responsibility for the lead gen team has moved to be under you instead of Dylan.
hmm
Yeah. So that's a change that sadly we're not very much informed about. Um, but that's fine. But we do have quite a few issues that we've talked about that they actually brought to our attention during that meeting. All right. The majority of this issue has something to do with workload, you
Yeah.
know, because there's been quite a lot of changes when they moved, and so they are unsure of what KPIs they need to keep now. So previously they have something that already has KPIs.
hmm
And then now that they've moved, there's been a new set of things that they need to do. So they're
hmm
wondering, of course, that you know, are the previous things that they were asked to do something that they should still be doing on top of their current load, or is it something that they should stop and focus on the current load? So that's a common question. Another thing is the movement of the staff. We didn't have as I said, we don't have we didn't receive any news about it. And also there's been request of different working hours, which is against the contract that they've signed. So to give you
Right.
an idea how we hire for lead generators or basically any PH staff, we ask people to get us to give a job description, of course, and all those things, and working hours, who's going to be the direct supervisor and things like that. And then only then do we actually send these people to send the recruitment form or application form online to the job boards. That's how we
hmm
do it. So everyone who we've hired so far have been working in very strict hours because those hours are tailored for them, and a
hmm
lot of them have multiple jobs. So we
hmm
can't just change their hours because literally they've signed a contract, and they've tailored their lives around the hours that we've set for them. But there's been multiple requests of hours changing. Some of our team had been very cordial enough to actually change their hours as per our wishes or suggestions, or people's wishes or suggestions. But recently the requests have been quite unreasonable based on the meeting yesterday. And then we also have a we've also received news about this person called Jonas Heller, which I've
Yeah.
never, I don't know this person. Where does he sit in the organizational chart of our company? I
Right.
am unsure.
Mm.
So I think we definitely need to know who the people who this person is, because apparently the team has been worried that he has been acting as their supervisor. So who is actually their supervisor, they don't know. And Jonas has been sort of leading, um
hmm
but the team is not feeling confident on the way he leads, because, and according to my notes, verbatim, Jonas is forcing the team to push for bookings under his name or his link to, and the team is unsure if they should do that because that guarantees his commission but not everyone else's. And they feel that's a little fishy, you know. And he's also the one who's been pushing for the change of schedule, which they've explained that it's not how it should be, but he's been pushing that. And then hold on, I have quite a few notes. And regarding the workload, he has demanded like 300 follow-ups per day. All should be of a different touch of different nuances. And 15 book calls per day on certain people, which is, according to the team, is impossible to handle.
Okay.
And even if they said that it was impossible, he's been pushing for that. And he sent voice messages asking them to continue with this, regardless of, multiple, how should I say, comments from the team that this is absolutely impossible for them to do in a single day. So we need to understand the KPI changes, the hour changes that are requests. So who actually approve those things and who request these things. And do you know, or do anyone else in your team know? And also, the last thing would be, a lot of our team is lost on how to proceed with their role because they feel like they're just in quote Autobots, not the Transformer kind, but because they've just been automatically replying to a lot of things, and they feel like the quality that they're providing is generally lower because that's not, we've tried to move past being a reply bot, and they feel like they've returned to that. And lastly, it's a communication on a lot of the events that's happening, because the team said that they're not very well informed when they say that there's an event and this is what happened, and then just do this. So they aren't sure, they need a little bit more, how should I say, guidance and prodding into what those events actually entails and how it affects their roles and their KPIs as a team. And that's been the concern yesterday. I think that's like the summary of it. Do you have anything to add, Enzo?
And that's what everything they said. They just need clarifications on what's expected from them, and they wanted to hear it from the HR side, because they were able to sign contracts when they started, and the contract said they work under Open Living / Sojo. So, but right now, they're performing tasks for GWPN. So just clarifications from our end.
Okay. Right. Let's work through them first of all. So, first of all, based off what you just said of Sojo, optional, etc., the reason that has changed, and as well, basically, I've basically inherited like Alden, like all these, like who I had nothing to do with. They were basically like dropped in my lap. Literally, I had like 4 people, and I was like, I've got to find roles for them and the rest of that. Hence why I'm not surprised where we're at now. So the reason that they are now working under the training, which is GPWN, is because their main role before obviously was lead gen to basically create hands-off booking calls for hands-off investments. We no longer offer the hands-off investment. Like, it's not something we offer at all. The only way that we can provide that service is if someone comes through the training, comes through GPWN. So it's not a service that we even provide anymore. So that is why we didn't need the lead gen on like Nathan. I think Nathan still got Isabella, but like Paul, for example, everything like that. Like, there wasn't a need for it, first of all. So that was the first point. In terms of the workload, again, because I inherited Older and Talia Nix, and there wasn't a clear role in terms of what they needed to do, effectively, I sat down with Jonas and we tried to map out where we could place them, or like what could we give them to do effectively. And that is why, and in my opinion now, there is 3 of them. Those 3, Alden, Talia, and Nix, are all in Facebook with Jonas. You don't need 3 of them. You need 1 person, but you've got 3 people doing 1 person's role, because in complete honesty, I didn't have anywhere else to like put them in the training business. So I'm not surprised that it's a workload thing, or they're not feeling necessarily like they're doing a great deal, because that was really the case. And that's something that we can speak about doing something else, but like it's definitely an issue, something that I want to speak to you about anyway. In terms of different working hours, I had no idea about that. That was on Jonas, and basically some more clarity on Jonas is Jonas runs Facebook. So effectively, you know, we have 2 main sources of leads, Instagram and Facebook. We have on Instagram at the moment, we have 2 setters who are commission only. We have Lee and we have Tom, who just joined today, and Mira at the moment is in there helping them out. So on Facebook, we have Jonas, who is again is commission on and runs that, and then you have Alden, Talia, and Nix. So I put Jonas, probably actually, yeah, should have told you about this. I asked Jonas to take control and effectively, oh, is he there? Yeah, I asked Jonas to sort of take control and manage that Facebook, because it's not, it requires a lot of time, and I don't necessarily have the time to go out and do that. So Jonas is, in theory, in charge of that, and the team that works on that will be under Jonas. But I had no idea like about different working hours, anything like that. I sat down with Jonas and we went through the roles that we can provide, and I said, who do you think will be best in those roles? Then he said Alden for X, Sully for Y, whatever it may be. And I said, look, go do it. I didn't know anything about the working hours, and I said if it's contractually based, like there's no reason why they should or need to change. I don't think it should make a difference. So I can tell Jonas that, but you can tell them that as well, that they don't need to change. In terms of Jonas as that sort of role, he is going to be the person that will lead that Facebook team. So if we have 1 person in there helping out on Facebook, or 5 people, they will be under Jonas, and then I will manage Jonas. Is effectively how it works, because it requires a lot more time than I respectively have available. And they should be sending his link, because obviously the whole Philippines team don't own commission, whereas Jonas does. So effectively part of it was anyone that books in via Facebook is Jonas's lead, and Jonas would then get paid for if it's sold. So if it was Talia in the messages, for example, it's still right for them to send. It doesn't make a difference if it is a Talia link or if it was a Jonas link, because it's from Facebook, and therefore it will still come under Jonas. So that still will be the same. In terms of the KPIs, 15 booked calls is ridiculous. I don't know where that has come from.
From Jonas.
Like it's well, I said, well, I don't know where Jonas has got that from. I probably should have said, because that's a huge number. But also in Facebook, Jonas is the person having the or should be having the conversations. Somebody else should be following up. Like it shouldn't even necessarily be a KPI, because it's not their main role. The main role is the follow-ups. Like it genuinely isn't on the book call. So that can go, which I will speak to Jonas about, because it's not, that's his KPI. It's not a Philippine KPI. And then the follow-ups, 300 is, I wouldn't say it's too many. I think it's probably too many to do on like on a basis of you've got to make every single one different. But as a KPI, that's what our Instagram guys will do. So I think that's quite attainable. So on that side of it, I think that's all right. But yeah, definitely get a better idea on the issue with KPIs at the moment, is because, as I said, in my opinion, 3 people are doing 1 person's job. Like, so it's very hard to pinpoint exact KPIs, because it is very narrow what each of those people are doing. So it was difficult to effectively create them. Unsure on the exact roles of what they do, pretty much what I just said. Like, we tried to map it out for like follow-ups, post making, and all the rest of it. But yeah, as I said, I think that there's too many people in that group at the moment. There needs to be just 1 rather than 3. And then the final thing, lack of communication on events, I don't necessarily agree with, because the people in, so all those people in the Philippines team get the exact same information that our sales team do, that our setters do, everything like that, because they're on the team calls, they're in Slack, like they have access to all the same information that everyone else does. And I think that like the thing that I notice on, for example, our team calls is Nix, Alden, not necessarily Talia, for example, they will sit with their camera off, muted, like you've got no idea if they're listening or not. And even sometimes when we'll say, okay, well, thanks guys, but some people will stay on afterwards, they'll still be there because I'm assuming they're not even at their computer listening. So the information is readily available and is on there. I think it's much more just about the engaging, being active in Slack and the rest of it as well. And that will come with the guidance as well. So I think that's definitely there in there. Has that? Right. That's what I wrote down in terms of questions.
I have a few things based on that. So first of all, let me talk about what we need from you first. So we need, I need for HR purposes as well, would be a complete list of people working under coaching, contracted and employed. So just because
in Philippines, you mean?
No, I have that in the Philippines. I need everyone who's even touched coaching, a complete list of people, and hopefully if you can provide the dates and when they were there, when they first joined coaching, this would massively help our budgeting as well, our HR budgeting. So this is quite necessary, and in the future, in case you onboard new people on coaching, please let us know, so we could add them into a roster that we keep. Okay, that's very important. And if you have contact details of this fellow named Jonas, I'd like to speak with him regarding I just need to speak with him regarding what do you call this, understanding the KPIs of the team better, because I feel like since you said that he's the one who's handling Facebook, he'll give me a more accurate KPI list, because we do performance reviews based on KPIs, so we definitely need those like accurate. And then with regards to a few things here, 3 people doing one job. So this is quite alarming because this requires staff movement. If there shouldn't be, in my opinion, in the company, any role that is, that requires multiple people if it can be done by just one person, right? So do you feel like, since it's 3 people, doing one job, then we only need one person. So 2 people can not, do and can be utilized elsewhere.
So I think that this is what I spoke to Jonas about, and we sort of agreed, and so in the 3 people at the moment doing their roles is Alden, Nix, and Talia, and I spoke to Jonas about it, and he can tell you who he, well, basically if it is going to
first, right?
Well, if it comes down to one person and he thinks that's best and we do, and you do as well, then who that person is, and then you can sort that out. But I think that's definitely the case, because then that person, it literally is like it's a lot of different things, but they're all quite small. So at the moment we're just giving small things to multiple people. So it doesn't make any sense at the moment.
Yeah, I think it's better because we need to smartly utilize our team. We have I've just been given an assignment to hire other people in a PH role. Instead of hiring them, why don't we just get people who we feel like are being underutilized into that role? Because all of these are just admin roles and we can just train them to do them, It's not like these are like heavily specialist leaning roles. So things like this we need a proper communication with, because I feel like we've been we've been behind on our communication regarding staff management and staff utilization. So this meeting is a first step towards making sure that it's going to go smoothly in the future. And yeah, if it's three people doing one job, honestly, I really need to talk to Jonas about this, and maybe we could utilize the two other team members to do, for example, contracts. We basically we need an actual person handling contracts as an admin role, and
Mhm.
even what do you call this, loyalty management, so calling guests, etc. After staying and stuff like that. So we need more people doing that. We need specifically two people.
Okay.
So we can just probably move two people into that role instead of having one person being overwhelmed by having two other teammates who are doing nothing, or not pulling their weight, and then these two people feeling demotivated because they feel like they're just bots. So I think that would be a better move forward. um so yeah, I think the next step would be Enzo, right? Talking to Jonas regarding the roles, right? Because he seems to have, he seems to be working more closely with the team.
Yeah,
Is that correct?
very, very, very much so. Like, genuinely, it's something that, like, just at the moment, same with Instagram, I'm like, just if you know how to do it, go out and do it, and like I very much sort of leave them to it. So no, Jonas knows, and will report back to me, but like Jonas knows way more than me about that, and who he'll want and how it will work, and what they're doing as well. So definitely the best person to speak to over me in doing it.
Okay. Do you have any other concerns regarding HR or staffing issues?
Not necessarily a concern, but something that Jonas raised with me, and
Mm-hmm.
it was also something that Sam said before as well, was
Mm-hmm.
that Alden specifically, for example, Alden's role in the Facebook at the moment was to basically collect content and create posts, so we can keep it engaged, get people interacting, and all the rest of it, and has been tasked with doing this for almost 3 weeks now,
Mm-hmm.
and I think quite bluntly hasn't done it. Like, has been asked multiple times to collect data information and do it, and so it's got to the point where Jonas is basically just doing it because it needs to be done. And that was just some feedback. He said that Talia has been really, really good. And if I was a guessing man, that's who I would guess would be stay with Jonas on Facebook. I think it's who may work best with, but that's something he raised about Alden. I said I don't know. I'm not in it, but from that was his exact role, and Jonas said he's doing the post because he's not doing them. So that's just was a slight concern.
Okay. Have we thought of asking someone else to do it aside from Jonas, like Nix, for example, or Talia?
Aside from
So
Alden, you mean?
Yeah, aside from Alden.
yeah, well, I think that would come under. So Jonas said going forward that he's happy to continue to do them, but also that would be, if we did have one person on Facebook, that would come under their realm anyway, because it would just be part of that job. But I think Jonas might do it going forward anyway. We're not sure. It's really up to him, because it depends on, you need to collect a lot of information and data, but also then you need to copyright it and all the rest of it. So it probably takes a little bit more time, which Jonas can do. But again, that's up to him on how many conversations he's having, and obviously how confident Talia, for example, would feel in doing it as well. But like, it's not like a full-time role in itself, which is, I guess, part of the problem.
I see. Okay. And then there's also another issue with me, the team engagement during meetings, because um, I talked to someone else before this meeting, basically, and just sniffing around is what it actually is, and this has been a common concern, that some of the team in Legion are not they don't seem to be paying attention during meetings.
Mm-hmm.
Um, is this so, since you've mentioned it, I feel like this is something that you've observed.
Yeah, so like James especially has always made a point that he doesn't like people like on like team Zoom calls. He likes people to have their cameras on to show that you're engaged. But like when I say they won't speak, they'll be muted all the time, and they'll always have their cameras off. So it's just like, and like especially when the thing that sort of shows it is when, you know, at the end of a meeting, I'll ask Jonas, for example, to stay on afterwards, and one of them will still be in there because they haven't been listening, whatever. Like it's just sort of like a telltale sign.
Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
happened yesterday, I think.
No, but Isa was paying attention. It's just that she has another device, wasn't it? And the other device was left there. But Isa
Yeah.
has her camera on. But yeah, that is a a genuinely disappointing concern because it's a meeting and yeah. Okay. This is it's going to be a little bit more difficult to solve than just staff movement because engagement is something that it's very difficult to force to people to do.
Yeah.
All right, anyway, is there anything else that you'd like to speak about or any questions?
I don't think so. I think that was it. I think I said you speak to Jonas, I'll speak to Jonas, and yeah, no, I think that's it. I think today I think we've probably got enough on your plate anyway to go through first.
Right. And so is there anything that is like an HR concern regarding this meeting?
Yeah, I'd just like to reiterate that during meeting engagements or team engagements, that it is written in our um, contractor handbook that during all meetings that everyone should have their cameras on and everyone should be actively participating. Yeah, just wanted to let you know about that.
Okay, well that's even more important. Yeah, it's just like especially because now our team has grown so quickly, and I'm not sitting there expecting, because James and I will lead the meeting. I'm not sitting there expecting to be really engaging and talk and like, but I don't need that. It's just more like we're a team, and it like everyone's super important, and it just said it. I think it helps a lot to have that on. You feel like you're part of something as well.
Yeah. What is disconcerting for me is because they say that the people are not communicating, but at the same time, people could be communicating, but if you're not engaged, then you're just a wall,
Yeah.
and like people talking to a wall, and nothing's gonna happen. And then when crunch time happens and you feel like you don't have enough information, well, probably you do. It's just that you did not process it because you're not
Yeah.
paying attention.
They're
Right.
getting the same. Honestly, that they get, because we have one team meeting a week, and then I think we're going to have a setters team meeting as well, or a lead gen team meeting as well, which probably would be better actually, to have both. But like they will genuinely at the moment get the same information that everybody else does, and I think it's just a matter of just looking for it and listening as well.
Yes. All right. So it's very serious in that regard then, because they feel like it was unfair that they're not communicated with, but apparently there was. But it's just that you need to pay attention. Anyway, all right. Next step would be to get Jonas's contact information. Do you have it? Oh,
He
I
is.
shared it with you. Yeah.
Yeah, I will have.
Mhm.
I have his
sorry.
email.
Okay, that would be better because it's a email. Also, Peter, just a question regarding coaching in general. I've created quite a few materials for coaching.
Yeah.
What do I do with them?
What are the materials?
I've created guides and stuff.
Oh, amazing. Okay, so with regards to the guide, so have you met Kristen or not?
No, that's why I need a list and like
Yeah.
with contact details.
Okay, so Kristen, and actually what would probably be quite good here as well is because I predominantly use Slack as communication for coaching, because I said with WhatsApp, in my opinion, it gets a bit messy. So we have a dedicated like coaching group Slack. So what might be good is if I can add you into that, and then you
Yes,
can
please.
access everyone, speak to everyone, everything. Yeah, okay, perfect. So Kristen is our community manager. So she's a previous student of ours and now basically is going to work with our coaching clientele. But she's going to be in charge of basically making sure that all the guides are uploaded, all the training is there, basically making it a much better experience. So if you're able to send them over to her, she's definitely the person that can do that.
Okie dokie.
What's your email? Is it just is it Sojo?
No, it's ia.hipolito@sojo. I'm gonna type it.
Yeah, type it.
Send it on WhatsApp. Do you dislike WhatsApp? You know, I've created something in. Oh, I'll just type it here in chat. Hold on. ia.hipolito@sojo
Did already.
stay.com. Okay, there. Thanks. I've created a like Microsoft Teams thing because we're using Microsoft Teams. I feel like we can just use Microsoft Teams instead of WhatsApp and get rid of WhatsApp and Asana in one go. So I've created a blueprint of that we could release immediately. I just need to talk to someone in have a proper sit down meeting with Nathan and Paul to spearhead that. But it's ready. It's been ready for a while now. It's literally just people saying, let's talk about it next week. And then next week has been 3 months ago. So
yeah. No, I don't mind WhatsApp, but for small conversations, but group
no.
communication, it's just useless. I can't
Oh my
believe.
gosh, yes. I went to last week. I went to the hospital and left my WhatsApp and went to the hospital. And there's been a thing in one of our locations, and I returned at it's probably 8 a.m. There's 790 messages.
Wow.
I was like, what happened? I'm not gonna read all of these, it's crazy. WhatsApp is crazy, I think, and it's not even organized because it's just group and then nothing, right?
No. Why? I literally one of the first thing that I did when I joined was literally Slack. I was like, everyone in coaching, Slack, because then it's just in one place and it makes it so much easier. But I've added you in, so you should get an email of it, and then you can see everyone. I'll add you into sort of all the team communication chats so you can see everyone in there, and then any questions you can just speak to people in there.
Thank you.
Wait, let me send you Jonas.
And I can find Kristen here.
Yep. Everyone in coaching is in there, and so they'll all be in team communication.
Thanks.
And let me add you in to all of these. So yeah, daily KPIs. I've done that one. Yeah.
Welcome to Slack.
Trying to think, is there anything else need to be in? Oh, this one. There you go.
Okie dokie. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time, Peter. We really appreciate it. I know how busy you are, especially with growing the coaching team. So just to finalize, we still need a list of everyone involved in coaching, employed and contracted. And yeah, that's from you. And then we'll let you know after we talk with Jonas what Jonas is inputted, and then we can make a final decision on better staff utilization.
Yeah. Cool.
So there.
That sounds good.
Thank you so much. Is there anything else, Enzo?
I'm good. Thank you so much for your time, Peter.
That's all right. Great to speak to you both.
Thank you so much. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.